Okay, hello, and welcome to the Get Crystallized Show. I am your host, Coach Crystal. And if we are meeting for the very first time, again, my name is Coach Crystal. I'm the CEO of R3 Evolution Fitness and the creator of the Revolve Life Method, which is the #1 online mind-body transformation and personal development coaching program. And I am so excited because I have an amazing guest coming on in a little bit. She is one of our R3 members, and she is going to share her experience from participating in our Whoop workshop, which, by the way, is coming up on December 6th, and how she beat the Dr. Bernstein hamster wheel. Now, I know all of you ladies in some way or another can relate to her, where you've done all the things and nothing has worked. So I am super excited to bring her on as my guest. But before I do, again, welcome to the Get Crystallized Show. Like crystals, strong women are made under pressure. And so if you have been feeling the pressure of the uneasiness and uncertainty of today's time, we have been through a lot over the past 18 to 24 months. And maybe you have put on what I have coined the pandemic pounds, where you've lost yourself over the pandemic. The image that you see in the mirror does not match the image that you see in the head, where you step on the scale and you feel defeated. If that is you, I want to invite you to join us during our free 5-day Whoop the Scale workshop, where I am going to teach you how to beat self-sabotage, how to crush procrastination, how to be excited about creating the habits that you know you need to be consistent with, but you are struggling because it is challenging. No one maybe is keeping you accountable, or maybe you are suffering from burnout, or maybe you're just sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. If this is you and you no longer want to feel defeated by the numbers on the scale, then I want to invite you now to join us on December 6th for our free 5-day Whoop the Scale workshop. I will add a link shortly, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the workshop as we go. But the most important thing right now is I want to introduce my guest, Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
I forgot because I was asking you how young you are, and you said you forgot, and you didn't tell me. So how young are you, Nicole?
48 years young.
48 years young, and you
Yeah.
have a daughter who is
9. Yeah.
And you actually joined the Whoop last September, I believe. Was it September or October?
It was actually right after Thanksgiving.
Right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So that would have been our October, November launch of 2020.
Yep.
And so I would love for you to share, I had introduced you as finally beating the Dr. Bernstein hamster wheel. And what I meant by that is, whether it's Dr. Bernstein, Weight Watchers, a gym membership, whatever it may be, I know that there are a lot of women in the audience right now who have tried all the things, and they've probably lost weight, sure, but then gained it right back. Lost weight and gained it right back. So it's more like a roller coaster than a hamster wheel.
Yeah,
exactly. I would love for you to share, before you joined R3, before you joined the Whoop workshop, what was that like, being trapped on that Dr. Bernstein roller coaster?
Yeah, I think trap is the right word, Crystal. I probably was on that hamster wheel roller coaster for over 15 years. Pretty much my 40s feels like a write-off. It feels like a big waste of time. And just nothing really memorable. Like, even I've had some great, so many great things happen, but like, it all was overshadowed by just this general feeling of being trapped. And you know, Bernstein was one of the diets that I ended up kind of was always my go-to, because if anybody's ever been on that diet, like you can lose a lot of weight and really quickly. So it is a little bit of a magic bullet in the sense of like, oh, you have a wedding coming up or a trip coming up, or, you know, the summer's coming. So you want to go and like shed those, you know, those 10, 20, 30 pounds. But the problem I started realizing over time was that absolutely I would lose the weight. Okay. And then you kind of hit your goal weight or you get close to it and you sort of feel good about yourself. And it's like, okay, you go on your trip. And of course, all hell breaks loose on your trip. And then you come back and you fall right back into slowly, very slowly, it all comes back. And literally over like more than 10 years, I would gain all the weight plus an extra 10 pounds per year, to the point where literally I had gained, not even kidding, like 100 pounds from the time that I got married about 15 years ago. So, you know, do that math, right? Like I was, you know, when I started the Whoop last year, I was pushing almost 300 pounds. I was like 283. You know, I'm 6 feet tall. So, I mean, it sounds like a lot more, but it was unhealthy. And I just, you know, and even when I was at 200, I felt like, oh my God, like 200, like, okay, run to Bernstein, you know, and lose, you know, get down to the goal weight. But then I just, every year it was like another 10 pounds took, you know, so, and it over, like, you know, and you try to be positive. Cause like, I remember one time a colleague saying to me, you know, you've lost it before, you'll lose it again. And that's absolutely true. But who wants to keep doing that over and over again? It's very much a trap, and it sucks you into this like just feeling a big slave to the diet, you know.
Yes.
You know,
You know, one thing that I'm sure there's a lot of our listeners that resonate where, you know, they have a short-term goal, which is a good thing. I love short-term goals. But like you said, because, and what I'm hearing is that there wasn't a solid foundation of healthy habits that were sustainable. And that's why the old habits would, like you mentioned, slowly creep up. And next thing you know, the weight would pile on. And you feel trapped, and because there's this quick fix, right? Quick fix, that was your go-to. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners can understand and are maybe even experiencing that right now, where they're running to like a juice cleanse or like practicing OMAD, 1 meal a day, or some type of quick fix that really at the end of the day is not sustainable.
Yeah.
Right.
And not to pick on Bernstein, because honestly, I've done everything. I've done, you know, the whole food challenge. I've done Weight Watchers. I've done with the HERstory or whatever, with the, like they're not even in business anymore. I've done the protein power plan back in the 90s. It's like, you name it, I've tried it. I've done intermittent fasting. I've done like everything. I've tried everything.
And what do you think now in reflection? Like, what was missing? You've done all the things. And like you said, they all work, right?
Yeah.
They all work in their own right. But what was the missing link?
The missing link was a couple of things, but like, honestly, it was this feeling that like, it was very temporary. So you'd get like, you know, and it was always very restrictive. So it was never enjoyable. So every single time I went on a diet, it never felt like, it's like you put your life on pause because you're so focused on the one goal. And then that's why all of those things I mentioned that were great, that were probably great in my 40s, it's like they were all overshadowed because I was constantly focused on like, I'm always like restricting myself. I can't eat this, or I can't eat that, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. And it just was like, it's not the way to live life. So, and so that's the first thing. And then the second thing is just like, I think it also develops like a really unhealthy sort of relationship with food.
1000%.
And many times, you know, and many times I felt like, maybe I need to go see a psychiatrist. Like maybe I have a food addiction, or like maybe like diet's not the thing for me. And I started to think more about like, what else is happening at a deeper subconscious level. And that's when I started to kind of realize, oh, like, I don't think it's just about like what I'm putting in my mouth every single day or not putting in, right?
I love that you said that, because one of the things, and you've experienced it firsthand, is the mindset. right? And that's one of the things in the main pillar and the foundation that we teach at R3, because like you said, it's what is behind putting that food in your mouth, that relationship that you've built with food. Because a lot of women, and I too have experienced it, where I would have used, because food is an emotional regulator, I used it when I was sad, depressed, angry, even happy, anxious, stressed, all the things. And that's something that we take a deeper dive. Now, you fast forward, you found us on Facebook again, and you saw that we were doing this free workshop, and you thought, what the heck, nothing to lose, it's free. So, what was your experience going into the Whoop, and did you learn anything?
Yeah. So I, again, through Facebook, I had seen the little pop-up. That was, I guess, 6 months into the COVID pandemic. And I had put on like 20 pounds just from being, in that situation. And I had heard of you before. And I had actually one time been into your studio, but again, it was, about a year before, and I hadn't really started anything. Was on the Bernstein program. So for me, and again, it was a challenge because it was right after Thanksgiving, right? So what happens on Thanksgiving. But it was kind of one of these things that just popped up, and I thought, oh yeah, I remember this. And the timing was perfect because it was just like, well, why not? Like, it's in my face right now. There's no reason not to. It's free, as you said, and it's like at night, 8 or 8:30. So like I could commit to like sitting through a week of whatever. And there's no obligation, right? It's kind of like, let's just see what happens. And right off the bat, just like you weren't talking at all about diet and fitness. I mean, you talk about the 3 pillars, but like most of what you cover in that Whoop is a sampling of kind of like the mind coaching and the coaching aspect. So this is something that's very different than any other diet program that I've been on, because it's not about the diet. It's about shifting your mind and tackling it from a different perspective, something I've never tried before. So I'm like, well, this is something I've never tried before. Maybe this is what I've been missing. And I read, and there's Noom is out there, and that was kind of, people have been buzzing a lot about that. So I was like, okay, like, yeah, maybe there's something to be said about this whole mind over matter business. And so I signed up and I participated. And what I learned right off the bat was, like it was like an aha moment pretty much every night. Cause I was like, yeah, I do that. Oh yeah, that's me. And why? And I see why now. Right. And so it was just a nice way to kind of kickstart for me, my new health and wellness lifestyle, which I can, I proudly say 1 year plus later, I'm still living. Right.
Yes. So before we actually share your results, and one key thing that you said, what I really want to emphasize is you were there live. You were there live. You showed up. You carved the time, as busy as you are. You showed up 8 p.m. Eastern every night. And I know you had your workbook in hand, right? Because this is where the magic happened. This is where a lot of the breakthrough happens. So for those of you that register, you will get emailed your workbook. You will be assigned an accountability coach. You put pen to paper. And I love that you shared every night you had an aha. That's why I do that. Aha. Oh, I do that. And so it's a really amazing kind of revelation as to all the things that you've done in the past that maybe you were not aware of. And
absolutely.
We shed light on it, which is, like you said, the first step. It is a kickstart, knowing what you used to do, what you shouldn't do, and what you need to do. Right. Especially when it comes to the mindset, because we always say once the mind is right, everything else will fall into place. And so fast forward a year later, you've experienced firsthand, like you said, of course, we have the nutrition component, 1000%. Of course, we have the workout component. But the part that I kind of wanted you to share a little bit more about was the mindset coaching. So when you are enrolled in our academy, you get one-on-one life coaching, and I had you as my one-on-one client. So we have one-on-one life coaching, you have small group coaching, and we have a personal development program. Can you talk about, because I know that this is not, a common service when it comes to a weight loss and transformation program. So what was your experience like from the one-on-one life coaching, the group coaching, and the personal development?
Yeah. So let me just say, I am not one of these people who likes doing like, like group stuff, like, group classes at the gym. And, I'm very much a lone wolf that way. And so when we first started this, I thought, I don't want the touchy feely, like, okay, kumbaya and all this kind of stuff.
But was it kumbaya?
Well, to some extent, but like, honestly, it's, so what? What's wrong with that? What was I afraid of? Like, maybe that's what I needed, right? Like, who cares? Like, honestly, I was just like, if I could swear right now, I would say F it, like I just,
yeah.
Like, like I'm at rock bottom now. I've tried everything. So like, what have I got to lose? Like, this is time to just get out of your comfort zone and just try something different. And like so for the group sessions and the one-on-ones, like that to me was, again, like an opportunity to learn, right? And I like that you called it an academy, because I know we've talked about this before. Like, I have treated this whole program as if like I'm taking a course in university, not a course. I'm doing a degree because, because it's not a quick fix, and it's not just about like every step of the way. It's not easy. Like, every step of the way is work. And everything I screwed up. I took some steps back. I moved forward. I've been injured. Like, all of these things have happened. But with the tools that I've learned from R3, I've learned to overcome those and to implement them. And the other thing that's great about this program is it's not like I've applied these things in my career. Things in my marriage, in relationships with my family. Like, it's definitely more about lifestyle and how you view the world. And then just about losing weight. Like, losing weight actually is like the
cherry on top. I always say it's the cherry on top. It really, and I always say that I could care less about the weight loss, because when I know that you are all in with the mindset, the weight will come off. Right? The weight will come off when you're all in with the mindset. So, I mean, although it is the cherry on top, you have still, what I'm really proud of you for, especially over the summer, have been able to maintain your results, and we're almost at your goal. So can you share what your physical results have been so far?
Well, you tell me not to get on the scale. So I don't
know. approximately, or even sizes.
Yeah. I can tell you that I've lost over 60 pounds.
Beautiful.
But again, that's scale weight, because I am doing a lot of weight training. So I definitely, like, I should have wore a tank top, because I've got some good shoulders.
Yes, you do have some really nice delts. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen my butt though. But anyway,
bring it on
next year. But no, like, I think I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
60 pounds? How many dress sizes have we lost?
Oh yeah, I'm back to like, I don't wear dresses. I've been wearing a lot of leggings, but like I wear leggings now. That's my go-to, like,
Beautiful.
But yeah, definitely, like, I'm down to, like, I used to wear plus size clothes. I can wear like regular, like 14s, regular, like I'm out of the plus section.
Beautiful.
And
how's your energy? Like, how's your energy? How's your, your just overall wellness? Like, how is that?
Yeah, that to me is the number one, right? Like, because I feel, more confident, more sexy, I love fashion. So I'm able to kind of wear stuff that I feel cool in, not some kind of big moo thing that I'm just trying to look cool, but like I can't find stuff, So to me, that's just been like, it's like I'm slowly reclaiming my true self, my self that I was in my like 20s, which I'd lost for many, many, many years. And, with the working out too, like, one of the things I wanted to share today was, as soon as I made or understood the decision, like, that working out is not to lose weight. That was a game changer for me. Like, I work out now, and I know you're going to say it's because I got crystallized, but I work out now because it makes me feel good. It has nothing to do with losing weight. Like, I'm not trying to like,
so good.
Like subtract calories from my daily intake or anything like that. I'm not even trying to like look good in a bikini at this point. Like I just feel better and more motivated to make smart decisions about food and to keep my mind set. Like it's all about, especially during this time of COVID when everybody's so depressed and everything, like I have really come to realize how important like this daily exercise is for
1,000% for your mindset and your mental health.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I just want to honor you, Nicole, because I know that you grew up as an athlete.
Yeah.
And your weight at the beginning was holding you back. Like you said, you had a few injuries, but you still showed up. You were consistent with your workouts. And what I love is that, and this is what we teach at R3, is that working out is not a chore. It is actually a privilege. And you're absolutely right. It's how you feel afterwards. That is the most important. And now, you know, I know that, I mean, it's winter now, but I know by next summer, I'm confident that you're going to be able to play the sports that you love to play, because you will have lost, you know, that weight that was holding you back. You will be more mobile. You definitely have increased your cardiovascular endurance. Right? Like I've seen you push, you know, and before I know that it was a struggle, but now, you know, when you work out, because I've witnessed it with my own eyes, you are super strong. You are super strong. And that translates to doing the things that you love to do in life. You know, you have a 9-year-old active girl who I'm sure is, you know, loves to do things with you. I know that you love to play sports, and that's the point. That's the point.
That's the living. That's the living that I've been missing.
Yes.
And never mind the sports. I'm proud that I can get up off the couch and not be in pain with my knees.
Yes.
Like
I remember you sharing that, how it was really hard to just get up.
Yeah. How I can sit on a toilet and stand up and not have to like hold on. I'm not even kidding you. Like that's how limited I was at like in my 40s. Like imagine when you're 80. Like
no, not anymore. Not you anymore. No way. Right.
It's
I was
I was just going to say too. So the other thing is like, I actually hurt my back the other day. Like, you know, Crystal, I do suffer from lower back issues. I have bulging discs and they get, you know, aggravated from time to time. So I did do a workout the other day and tweaked it a bit. So I did not work out yesterday. I rested it. But like, it's amazing how one thing I observed is like, I was really angry that I couldn't work out. So that's funny. Cause like, I never used to be like that. And then number two, it was like, okay, but like, I also learned how to shift from that. Right. So like, I'm not focusing on it. I'm doing what I need to do to get better. Cause the sooner I can get better, the sooner I can get back to working out. But I adjusted my food. You know what I mean? I did other things to accommodate that.
Yes. What that says to me, Nicole, is that you are living the R3 life. You're living a healthy lifestyle, because pre-R3 and like so many women out there, something like that happens when life throws a curveball. The first thing that we used to do is give up and be like, oh, forget it. Like I'll just, you know, and then I'll just wait until Monday. And then Monday becomes, I'll just start next week. And then next week, I'll just start on the first of the month. And it just snowballs. But you, and what I love and appreciate and I hope that, you know, we've influenced you, is that you just get right back up. You dust yourself off, you adjust like you did, and you refocus, reset, and you just keep going. And you don't allow life to push you off your track and then you stay there. No, you got right back up. So I just want to say that is amazing. Honestly, can we high five that? High five.
And that's the R3 method, right? Because you nailed the nail on the head, because like that whole like starting on Monday or next week, like that's how I kept getting into the routine of like putting on those extra 10 pounds, gaining all the weight back. I would do that every single time. Every single time for 10, 15 years. Right. So,
and I know you're not alone. So listen, there are women who are going to be watching this. They'll be watching the replay and they're going to be like, wow, that's me right now. And what would you say to them to encourage them to start with attending the free Whoop the Scale workshop? What would you say to them?
Well, I mean, like, what have you got to, if you're at the point where you are sitting right now watching this, whether it's on a replay or whether it is live, you have already taken the first step. Okay. The rest is easy. Like in terms of like the first step is always the hardest. So you're already there. So, you sign up, you show up. The number one thing for me when I did the Whoop was to me, because like, again, having a child, having a family, I've got an elderly parent who, we have to take care of. It's this concept of doing something for yourself, and that was the big thing, was like, I have to make myself a priority right now so that I can make others a priority. And showing up every day, for that 1 hour session and doing the growth work and all of that stuff was my commitment to me, that was missing. And that's where it started for me. And I strongly encourage everybody who's watching this to just sign up and show up, and the rest will follow. And just go with, like, as you always say, trust the process. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I'm still doing. My journey's not over. It's never going to be over, but, I just encourage you to, like, there's going to be excuses for everything. Oh, I can't this night or whatever, but you do your best. If one night you can't see it live, then you make sure you're there the next night live. Like, you just adjust, do your best.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And that is also one of our saying is do your best. That's all, right? Yeah. Do your best. That's all. Nicole, I want to thank you. I'm so proud of you, honestly, because I remember our consult. I remember where you were. I remember the struggles that you shared. And, I hope you truly give yourself a high five every morning, because the woman that I spoke to over a year ago to the woman who is speaking right now, night and day, you are such an inspiration to all the women that are going to be watching this, that are going to listen to this. Your daughter, she has this amazing mom to look up to, who is living proof that self-love and self-respect is not selfish, and that self-discipline is self-respect. And you're teaching that to your daughter in a healthy way. You're teaching her to live a healthy lifestyle, and that brings me pure joy. And that's why R3 exists, is because we know that, especially women, we are the catalyst to change when it comes to the family. And it started with you. And I'm so proud of you. And thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your testimony. And like Nicole said, like, really, you have nothing to lose.
Except for pounds.
For pounds. Exactly. You have nothing to lose but weight, right?
Habits and negative thoughts.
And negative thoughts and all the things that weigh us down, right? So thank you again, Nicole. And to all of you who watch the replay, make sure you put #replay. And if you're in the Healthy Lifestyle group, I know Nicole's in there too. If you have any questions for her, I'm sure you'd be okay to answer any questions. So just type in the chat box if you have any questions for her. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and type that in. I'm going to add the link so that you all can register. It begins December 6th. It will run Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. EST every night. And like Nicole said, even if you cannot come live, although we recommend that you do, there are replays, and we will assign you an accountability coach who will ensure that you don't miss a thing. So thank you once again, Nicole. You are exactly what awesome looks like. Another high five to finish off the show. And thank you all. We'll see you guys next time on the Get Crystallized Show.